So I fell in love with theater, specifically musicals, in 2001 when I was in first grade. My dad took me to the Pantages to see The Lion King, and I just loved it so much, fell in love with it, absolutely loved all of the costumes. I remember, as a kid, I like reached out trying to touch that big elephant that was coming down the aisle, and I remember my dad being like, "Don't do that," and I was like, "But why? Like, it's there. It's like an animal." And kids, they're just so immersed in everything. And I just got the acting bug. And I remember being like, I need to sing. I need to be up there. And then my mom and my dad put me in dance classes and singing classes and mostly sang for the church. So that was my little acting and experience. And I will always like love The Lion King. It will be always my favorite Broadway musical. And I'm so happy it's still standing because I hope one day I can be in it. The part I realized that was when I first went to college, I think, because all growing up, I knew I wanted to do this, but I also thought I needed like an actual career at the same time. So I would always think I can have a day job and then I can have also like Broadway. I don't know why, but that's just how I thought. But I realized that Broadway is so demanding and musicals are are just so demanding when you're there and you are committing yourself, and people don't realize how much stamina you need and how focused you have to be in a production. And when I finally got to my first college, and then I realized I don't want to do this. I want to put everything I have into acting and everything into musicals, is when I really like switched going to that college, and then went to AMDA in Hollywood. And I, from then on, just my sole focus is just trying to get out there and trying to, just anything I can possibly do. I want to do everything. I want to be on stage. I want to be TV, film. I want to be behind the scenes. I still love teching because I grew up teching as well. I still love writing. I love to write. Hopefully that will be out there soon. But yeah, just everything of entertainment. I just love it. I love behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. I think everybody has to work together in the entertainment business, and that's what makes it so special, is because you have to be a cohesive group. And I love being a part of something. And entertainment definitely, and just musicals in general, you have that sense of family. So I love that about musicals as well. So I found out about P3 from backstage, and I saw it, and my friends were talking about a new little company starting up in Long Beach, and I was like, oh, okay. And then the buzz started happening about Evita, their inaugural production, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go and see what this new theater has to offer. And when I walked in there, I saw John Peterson. He is the founder of P3 Company, and he is an amazing person. You walk into that audition and you just feel like you're home. Like I wasn't nervous. And they make you feel welcome, and they make you feel like it's a space where you're able to create and your voice is heard and you're not just another person on stage. And in the Avita cast, I actually felt like we were a family, and it wasn't like cliquey, because sometimes it can be depending on the show. But Avita was just such an amazing experience, and one I will always remember. And P3 Theater Company, you just walk in there and everybody, no matter if it's a stage manager or the people helping with concessions, everybody is there just because they love theater. And I think that was the part that was special, because it was something new and everybody was there and they knew it was new and they knew it was something exciting, and they were a part of the first show that P3 was ever putting on. And you felt that energy every night on stage. You felt like we are a part of something that's going to be great and that's going to last. And I know that P3 is going to last because they're putting things out there for people to get educated and just, opening their eyes to so many things. And that's why I really appreciate P3 Theater Company. So I really think that all voices need to be heard, especially through P3 Theater Company right now as an ally to the Black community. I know that, a lot of people are having a hard time speaking out or having these hard discussions. And I think if you have a platform like P3 Theater Company does, it's very important to like let people use your platform, or you use your platform to have a voice, to not like sit in the corner anymore, or just, you know, like hide behind all of our social media. And P3 Theater is allowing me to have this platform every week to talk about hard subjects. And it's important because a lot of people would never even talk about these subjects or talk about just what's going on in our world. And sometimes people are more inclined to look at social media now. They will, you know, like log in and they'll be like, oh, I can watch this. Or they might feel comfortable like being by themselves watching an episode. And I think that's important because P3 is giving them a chance to see and talk about hard subjects, and just for their community alone, because they're in Long Beach, and Long Beach has a very big population of, you know, African American community. And I do believe that it's giving Long Beach itself a platform. So how this whole Breaking It Down with Jodi Marks came about was actually after the Laramie project that I did with P3 Theater Company. Actually, after your interview with us, after we had that whole talk about why the Laramie project is so important, I guess what I said resonated with John. So he asked me if I would use P3 Theater Company as a platform and talk about hard subjects every week. And he wanted to be an ally and give the Black community a voice. And he asked me if I would be the host. And I was completely honored, because why wouldn't I take this opportunity? I want to talk about hard subjects. I want to get in the homes of people that maybe are shying away from things, or maybe they can't talk about it within their own family because they don't feel like they can. But maybe this will give them a little platform to maybe open up those dialogues between each other. And it actually, John was the one who came up with Breaking It Down with Jodi Marks. And I just love it. I fell in love with it the first time because I was like, yes, we're breaking down hard subjects. And I never thought that would be the title. Honestly, I didn't really think of the title. My brain went straight to what can I do? What topics can I talk about? Who can I bring on the show? You know, this is my first time being a host for a show. So my immediate being an actor went to who can I bring? And John is the more business, you know, side of everything, because he has to be with P3, and he's the one that really like brings me down and goes, these are what you have to do. So I appreciate him, because as an actor, I just want to jump in and not even realize about the technical stuff or the promoting it. I'm just like, yeah, let's head on. And like, who can I bring on? What topics can I talk about? He's like, what's the name? And I'm like, oh yeah, I need one for a show. So he's the one that really helped me and took it on. And also Brian, our technical support for this show. He is amazing, and he definitely helps with making us look good, every panelist look good, going through Facebook Live. And he also helps a lot with the title as well. And I think they talked about it. But yeah, I owe them a lot, because I wouldn't have been able to probably pick a name because I was too excited. So far, we've talked about how to raise a Black child in this kind of crazy world that we are in. We've talked about how to educate the next generation on how to better just love one another. We've also talked about just being a Black performer in general, and the challenges you face as a Black performer, and things of just like the little things that people don't realize or say in the theater community, not realizing that it's actually hurtful, or just not even being inclusive to just Black performers in general at times, where they don't want to see us in the room, and we have to, and a topic that came up was you just have to go, and you just have to show up. So we've talked about some hard things. I've seen just a lot of comments in the Facebook Live group as well, and we love to feed off that. So we've talked about writers in the room having to be people of color. It starts from the creative team. You can't all be, just one point. Like you have to just see everybody. You have to see all walks of life, all cultures. So that was a really good topic that we talked about. And also, again, educating the next generation. We have to see and help them grow to be better people than we have been. It's really, what are we doing for the next generation to make this a better world for them? Because at the end of the day, they're the ones coming up, and we have to do better. We have to give them something to look forward to, and not a world where we're all divided. So it's been definitely interesting topics, especially talking with a man who's raising 2 Black women. David Sabella was on the show, our first episode, and it was interesting because I never thought of a white man raising 2 Black girls in this world, and him also having to navigate that kind of topics of what do I talk to them about, how do I talk to them, and his perspective was eye-opening even for me, because that's a whole different experience that he has to deal with than I do. So that's been really nice. So this show will hopefully be running for a really long time, and if I have any say, it will be. So I really hope that people take away just a different understanding. I hope they become educated in things that they weren't educated in. I hope that it maybe inspires somebody to go make a change in their community, or just inspire somebody to be a better person in general. Because the show has already inspired me to take changes in my own life and to see other perspectives, because we can be so focused on ourselves and our own worlds and little bubbles that we all create for ourselves, but we never take the time to look at other people and go, what are they going through? How can I help them? Or just how can I be a better person today? How can I be kinder how can we just be kinder to each other? How can we live in a world without hate and just love each other for being who we are, and having respect for who we are, and not trying to degrade one another, I guess. And this world right now is seeing a lot of just hardships we just need to come together. And I really hope that this show will enlighten somebody, and maybe if they're in a family where they don't think they can talk about certain subjects, maybe this opens up a dialogue within that family, or maybe they show it to a friend and they go, hey, can we have a conversation about this? What do you think about this? And I just want dialogue to start. I just want people to have that conversation, to open up discussions and to just talk. Because I feel like that's what people don't do a lot these days, is talk and voice their opinions and then hear others people's perspectives. Because you can have a conversation without being rude to each other. You might disagree, but that's the whole point. Disagree in a conversation. But I want you to do it, and I want you to think about what you're saying and really think about the other person, what they're saying as well, and take away from it. I know we're not all going to agree in this world. That's just not going to happen. But I want Breaking It Down to be a platform where people can go on every week and go, okay, but why don't we agree on things? What is the issue? What is the topic? What can we do to maybe get on the same page? Or maybe we can do things together in our communities that will empower everybody, no matter who you are. And I really want people to take that away and to just, live a better life in general. Just, be equal, even if you don't agree. So that's what I hope people take away. I want the audience to get out of this talk show a sense of pride for their community, with the Black community, a sense of empowerment, education, togetherness. I want people to really become their own person, have their own mind, and if you don't agree with something, speak up. Don't sit back, and go for it. Make change in the world. Don't just be in your room hiding behind a screen watching things on social media and being mad about it. do something about it. And I want this platform to really help them and maybe inspire them to go out, talk to somebody, and just do better. P3 is very important to the Long Beach community, and I really do believe more people should get involved with it because it gives just everyone in Long Beach a place to create and be seen and be heard. And it also gives an outreach to the youth in Long Beach because they already have a really good like educational program that they do within their social medias where they reach out to kids in the community. And they also have people from the working industry, from Broadway to regional theater, and they get to talk with them and learn new crafts. I've seen one where they were talking about lighting design, from even anything from lighting design to being a Broadway star. And I feel like that will open the door to more people in Long Beach to actually like understand the theater, and maybe if they wanted to get involved with it, they can maybe get that acting bug. But also Long Beach needs to have this theater because it brings outside people in to Long Beach. It gives the community an economic standing, you know, with people that didn't even really know Long Beach existed. I know from personal experience, when I was in Avita, I went to so many places in Long Beach that I never knew existed. And now they've honestly become some of my like favorite hangouts. And I know the cast can agree. We would spend, you know, just lunches, like finding new places. And there's so much history and culture just within Long Beach that would thrive if, you know, people would just know about it. And it's such an amazing community because I really felt like Long Beach has a sense of not only like pride, but just a sense of just a loving community. I don't even really know how to like put it into words, how everyone was so nice and generous wherever you went. And I've also seen that already with just the Black Lives Matter movement, how everybody in Long Beach is coming together, and it's great. It's just this great community. And I really think that P3 is only adding to it, and it's really giving everybody, you know, a sense of just, let's go to the theater, let's have a nice time and experience new works of art. Because yeah, you could go to, say, like San Diego or Hollywood to see a Broadway production or a national tour, but P3 Theater is going to give you all these little plays that no one has heard about, but they have such a big significance, and you're only going to get that from regional theaters that are, or the smaller local community theaters. And I think that is so important because it's going to open up, you know, theater to people that have never even seen a real life production. This might be their first one. And it creates jobs as well in the community. You know, I've seen people in P3 Theater Company where they just want to be an usher or, you know, something. And I think it's really good. I think P3 Theater Company is making a really, really big stand in Long Beach. And I think John is being an amazing leader with this platform he has given himself. And I just honestly love P3 Theater Company, and I would keep coming back even if I didn't have a show with them, just to watch their productions, because everything they pick is so empowering and it always has a message. It's not just, let's put on a show. It's what can we do for the community to show them something or have them walk out the door thinking a different way. And I think that's why P3 Theater Company is so important for Long Beach.